In Chapter 18, we come to the issue of numbers. We'll begin with the cardinal numbers, and then in the last section, we will do the ordinal numbers. Cardinal numbers are the typical counting numbers. You're used to them as 1, 2, 3, etc. In Hebrew, the cardinal numbers have both masculine and feminine forms, and both absolute and construct forms. Beginning with the masculine absolute, we have Echad, Shenayim, Shalosh, Arba, Chamesh, Shesh, Sheva, Shemone, Tesha, Eser. In the construct, the masculine are Achad, Shenei, Shalosh, Arba, Chamesh, Shesh, Sheva, Shemone, Tasha, Eser. You will notice, as is common with construct forms in general, that there is often some form of a shortening and occasionally an ending change. So Shanayim, 2, which is unsurprisingly a dual form, becomes Shenei in the construct. Or Shalosh, with the long comets vowel, becomes Shalosh, a shortening for the construct form. The feminine forms, beginning with the absolute, are Achat, Shetayim, Shalosha, Arba'ah, Chamisha, Shisha, Shiv'ah, Shemona, Tish'ah, and Asara. You'll note that most of the feminine forms, beginning with 3, have the comet's hey ending that is typical of a feminine form. Likewise, you will note that the dual form Tayim matches the type of dual form you already know. In the construct, the feminine forms are Achat, Shetei, Shaloshet, Arba'at, Chameshet, Shesha, Shiv'at, Shemonat, Tish'at, Aseret. You will note then in the construct forms that the A ending typically converts to a Tav ending. You should memorize the masculine and feminine absolute forms of the cardinal numbers. The numeral 1 is most commonly used as an attributive adjective. Remember then that means that it will 1, follow the noun it modifies, and 2, agree with that noun in gender and definiteness. For example, we have Ha'ayil ha'echad, one of the rams, from Exodus 29:15. Because the adjective, 1, follows the noun, it agrees in gender, and it agrees taking a definite article. Or we have from Leviticus 14:5, Hatzipur ha'echat. So again, 1 acting as an attributive adjective follows the noun. It agrees with tzipor being feminine, and it has a definite article, as does the noun it modifies. Less commonly, the numeral 1 also can be used in construct with a noun. In that case, being a construct form, it will still agree in gender with the noun, but being a construct form, it cannot take the definite article, because in construct phrases, the definite article can only go on the final term, the absolute noun. So for example, from Genesis 26:10, we have Achad ha'am, one of the people. There's an agreement in gender. However, the definite article on ha'am is not repeated on achat here because it is a construct form and by rule cannot take a definite article. The numeral 2 is a dual form, unsurprisingly, both in the absolute and construct. As an absolute, the number 2 can be used as a substantive, as a noun, in which case it will agree in gender to the noun with which it connects, but it connects appositionally, meaning that the two words are simply placed beside each other and you're to understand that they refer to each other. Or it can be used as an absolute as an attributive adjective. So appositionally and as an attributive adjective in the absolute, you have Genesis 7:15, Shenayim Mikol Habasar. Two, Shenayim in the absolute, min from, remember the noon have min has assimilated, from all of the flesh. In English we would simply say two from all flesh. Or Elim Shenayim, literally two rams. To be more wooden, in Exodus 29:1 we might say rams, comma, two. But in more proper English we would simply say two rams. When used in the construct form, the number two is still dual, and you see the examples of Genesis 4:19, Shetei Nashim, two wives, or Genesis 34:25, Shenei B'nei Yaakov, two of the sons of Jacob. The numbers 3 through 10 also will stand as their own word, as nouns, substantives, and they will typically be paired with plural nouns. So for instance, Genesis 6:10, Shelosha Banim, three sons. Genesis 47:2, Chamisha Anashim, five, the numeral, Anashim, the plural of Ish, men. Chamesh Amot, from Exodus 27:18, Chamesh, the number five, Amot, the plural noun, cubits. From Genesis 21:28, Sheva Kiv Shet Ha Tzon, seven ewe lambs of the flock. Those four examples highlight a common thing with languages of the Semitic language family, of which Hebrew is part. And this is that the relationship between the gender of the noun and the gender of the number that is used with that noun seem to not match. For the numbers 3 through 9, you have what we call gender discord, that masculine nouns take numbers that are feminine in their form, and feminine nouns take numbers that are masculine in their form. So anashim and banim were masculine nouns, but the numerical form used with these masculine plurals was the feminine form of the number. Kivshot and amot are feminine plural nouns, but then the number that is used with them is in fact a masculine number. This is called gender discord, and it will be true for the numbers 3 through 9 and all numbers going up that end in 3 through 9. In other words, 13 to 19, 23 to 29, 33 to 39, etc. The agreement here corresponds to a noun's actual gender. So if one has a feminine noun that irregularly has a masculine looking ending to form its plural, ending in "im," the number matches not here, but it matches on the issue that it is a feminine noun. So for instance, we have from Numbers 35:14, Shalosh He'arim. Arim is a feminine plural noun that irregularly has the "im" ending instead of the more typical feminine plural ot ending. Nonetheless, because this is a feminine plural noun, shalosh, the masculine form, is used for the number. One can also attach pronominal suffixes directly to the numerals. When this is done, the pronominal suffixes are attached to the construct form of the numeral. For instance, Genesis 21:27, Shnei hem, two of them. Shnei, the masculine construct form, hem, the possessive suffix. Or Numbers 12:4, shalosh tam, shaloshta, that is the feminine form of the noun, and then is the possessive suffix, the three of them.